This video is intended for educational and informational purposes only. All firearm handling shown is performed by trained individuals in a controlled environment. Always follow the 4 rules of gun safety. Number 1, treat your firearm as if it's loaded. Number 2, never point a firearm at anything you do not intend to destroy. Number 3, keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Number 4, be sure of your target and where it's beyond it. Comply with all local, state, and federal laws regarding firearms. Do not attempt to replicate any actions seen in this video without proper training and safety measures. The creators assume no liability for misuse or unsafe practices.
All right, time for the Canik. Load it up. I'll just start shooting. I'm not going to do any dry fire. I didn't do it with the shadow systems either. Just want to see if I can do it cold turkey. Gotta fix this sight. Iron sights picture. I have to hit lower right corner, and I don't know where that's hitting, but it's probably maybe center mass. Not sure. While I've been saying that the sights are great, I'm being objective because out of the box, it seems to be hitting. Or I seem to be hitting to the right, or I should say the left, because as I'm trying to hit center mass, it's going off to the left. So I have to aim to the right in order to hit in the middle. So I think it's just this one, you know, I highly doubt it's anybody else's, but I'm going to adjust the sights, and it's either going to be the rear sight or the front sight. But if I move the rear sight to the right, that essentially will move my sight, or my sight picture, to the left. Same thing with the front sight. If I move the front sight to the left, it'll move my sight picture to the left. So I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna test it out. It doesn't look like it's off. When you look at it, it's straight on. It doesn't look like it's got any sort of discrepancy between these sights, but it doesn't hit center. It hits right. So I've gotta do that. So, and it's gonna take me a minute because I've been videoing and editing and all that stuff. So I ask, bear with me. I'm probably will make a little short or a video that is having me fix these rear sight or front sight or both. So let me know in the comments down below if you've experienced the same thing with your Canik METE MC9 Prime and other EDCs. So, or pistols, they're, in that regard. Camera, camera, camera. I know. And this is the last firearm that I'm going to have this issue with. I'm getting everything set up, so bear with me. I apologize. Hang in there. All right, time to break it down. So clean it. Probably still a little too hot, so I'll just leave it in there. And that is 400. Yay! Oh, wait. Sorry, it's too early for that. Something I want to talk about that I mentioned in the round 200 video is compensators and ports. And I save everybody a lot of time. I went and looked up a lot of internet articles, magazines, YouTube accounts, and then also Gemini typing into AI and saying, what is the difference between a port and a comp? And I found that the technical definition is when you have a comp, it is at the end of a barrel or muzzle and not actually part of said barrel. So with this P365X macro comp, the slide has the compensator, the barrel doesn't have anything. So where the barrel stops is where the comp begins, and it just extends out. Focus. Thank you. So you can see that in there. Same thing here with the FN509C is that there is a compensator attached to the barrel, but that's at the end. So you can see that the barrel stops. The barrel stops, well, you can't really tell. Yeah, you can see the barrel doesn't go past the compensator right there, so it's right inside. This is a compensator, proper comp. So the port, on the other hand, is actually cut inside of the barrel. On this Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 2.0, you can see that there's a cut right there in the barrel. That is a port. And the slide has a cut at the top there, so this is not comp, this is actually a port, because you can see on the barrel itself there are holes. So with the Canik METE MC9 Prime, this is a proper porting, not a comp. If it ended right here and then the holes, you know, were here on the slide, then that would be a comp. So like I said, I know there's a lot of discourse online with this whole idea, and then also the companies, they don't lend to anybody's favor because they call their guns, some of them, comped when they're actually ported. And just like with the Smith & Wesson, it's a carry comp, but it's actually ported. So now, whether or not you take my words for it, I would say do your own investigation, and anybody that says anything, don't take it at face value and look it up for yourself. And I don't think there's going to be a lot of mudslinging or name calling or heated debates in that regard. But, you know, people can be people, and that's just the way it is. So I have always been taught to do my own investigation and ensure that what I am saying or what I am looking up is actual truth. And, you know, you don't look up one person or one source and go, oh, well, that's the truth. You have to kind of get into it a little bit with 3, 4, 5 different sources and look over it over time, and then have that healthy debate with people and see what they think. And that's what I'm asking you. What do you think? What is your take on the comped ported discussion? And that also leads me into my last point, which is why I do these long form shoots. And it's for my edification that when I do talk about and review these guns, I speak from a point of demonstration, experience, footage, evidence, basically, that what I'm doing, and I will be doing different kinds of shoots. I'm not going to just be standing there and shooting, but that's for me so that I know when I talk about the things that I talk about, it's going to come from a place that I have demonstrated that I have done. This isn't to say that anybody else who has shot these guns doesn't have that authority or experience, because they probably have more than me. I'm just speaking from my standpoint, because I know that I have that OCD, and I'm very careful to back whatever I'm saying up. Now, again, I appreciate everybody out there, especially those gun tubers that I've been inspired from all over the place. And it's just, we all have different ways of telling our own unique story, and that's just mine. So like, subscribe, recommend, comment, all not in that particular order. And I will see you at round 500. Thank you so much for being here. 照顾好自己，注意安全。